Hold on, this
Didn't come up as recording. Oh, there it is.
Has
Yeah.
now.
okay. Okay, so so we're just gonna before we do any work like this, the most important thing is that we actually get in alignment, okay? Because we don't want to tap into energy, especially if it's someone saying to you, I've had a disturbing dream. Let's not just go in from our ordinary level of consciousness. So what we'll do for Kendall is we're all going to tune in and use this just as an opportunity to show you how to quickly get into alignment. So just closing your eyes. I always change positions. So as I get remember we talked about posture, move my body, get myself into a place where I feel like I'm ready to be in an active state. I just want you to take a few deep breaths. I've just laid my hands on my lap. And just take a few deep breaths in. Hold for a moment. And release. Just let go of any stress or tension. And I just want you to imagine just releasing any of the thoughts around what you have to do or where you have to go. And just really surrender to this very moment. And just bask in the knowing that you're right here, right now. And really ground yourself into this moment. Ground yourself into the chair. Just move your body and just allow your body to get into that nice channel, that channel position where your body is open and receptive. And just using your visualization in your inner mind, your mind's eye, just visualize yourself back in your sacred healing space. That same place we discovered during this course. When you can see and feel and imagine yourself there, just imagine a beautiful white light just cascading down from high above. Just coming all the way down from the sky. And this beautiful, translucent white light just hovers above your head for a moment, just as you ready your body to receive it. And then opening and allowing your body to receive this healing energy as the light cascades down through our body, healing and releasing any tension, as any stress just melts off our body. And the energy moves all the way down to the tips of your toes and just moves back up through your entire body. And just feel that energy radiating throughout your body. And just feel that connection with your solar plexus, with your heart chakra. Just allowing that light in with the voice. And we activate our own healing energy. We call in our Reiki energy. For those of you that are attuned to Reiki, just bring in your Reiki symbols. And I'm going to activate the distant healing symbol so that we can create and open this circle. So I call in that distant healing symbol now. I just call in the light to fill us and surround us. And just visualize now a beam of light going from my heart to yours. I'm just creating a circle of light. And just imagine us all coming together now, standing in a beautiful circle. And just seeing that energy just move throughout our hearts, just connecting and bonding us all together as we feel this synergy, and we all come together on a basis of learning and unlocking our intuitive wisdom, connecting to the angels and spirit guides that are here to support our growth and to help us to learn and expand into more light, more healing energy, more love, more joy. And we also call in our sisters that can't be here tonight. So just calling in the energy of Veronica and Angela and also Haley, and just holding space for them, knowing that they couldn't be here. And as they watch this back in replay, they'll feel our love and our intention for their awakening and their healing to be received at a time when it suits them, and also us when we watch this back in replay. I intend that through our own guidance, we feel the resonance of the energy in real time, wherever we are, whatever we're doing, so that we can activate instantly this feeling of connection. And now just calling your guides, just ask for them to be present to help you with understanding, with reading, with learning, and with integrating the energy and the experiences. Okay, so when you're ready, just bring your awareness. Anya's going to come in and out as it's needed during the day, so she's definitely here with us. All right, when you're ready, just bring your awareness back into the room. All right, Kendall, we're just going to focus with you. So when we think back to that dream wonderful ways that, oh, Angela's coming in. Just let you come back into the room now. Just welcome Angela. How's her timing, man? Good job, Angela. That was like spot on timing, girlfriend. Literally just finished the meditation. We put your energy into our little group anyway, even though you weren't here. And then it goes ding dong.
How bad?
Right as I said, open your eyes. Did you forget tonight, or did you tell me you weren't? What happened?
Totally forgot.
You see, I had a feeling. I'm like, I'm going to text her just in case she's forgetting. Oh, good. I'm glad you're here. All right, we're just about to dissect Kendall's dream. So not dissect. I could come up with a better word than that. Sorry. We're about to explore Kendall's dream. Okay, so just give us the details. So some of the things that you've said that I can tune into is that you were running, okay, or you were running away from, or someone was chasing you, Kendall?
Yeah, this I'm just checking because it was a week ago. Yeah, this old mean man was chasing me and shooting at me with a shotgun, and I was running through my we had a bush block where I grew up. I often have dreams here, running through this bush block, and then he'd also recruited like 6 little kids on motorbikes, and it was nighttime with the headlights, kind of like chasing me and looking for me. And then I was running and hiding through the trees, and then I think I had my own gun appeared out of nowhere, and I started shooting back at him, and that was the dream.
Yeah. So when you think about, can you recall the feeling? Like, can you recall the way you felt at the time?
I remember like it was adrenaline, and it was scary, but it didn't feel as scary. You know how you would feel if it was real life? It didn't feel that level of fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it was. Yeah. So it didn't feel like a real physical threat.
Yes, I think I somehow knew that I was not going to die.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was still afraid of him anyway, so I was still running away, and hiding. Yep.
Okay. And so if you're to tune into this and you're to look for a message, is there anything in your life where you could feel like you're just not ready, or you just want to run away from? Is there something, and you don't have to say what it is, just acknowledge if you can resonate with this feeling of feeling threatened by something, or feeling like there's a pressure to do something or make a decision, and therefore it's a feeling of running away from responsibility. So running away from a sense of responsibility, and the feeling I get around it is because I don't feel like I'm ready or capable. Does that make sense? It feels like it's coming from an insecurity as to whether you can handle the decision, or do you know, it's almost like, and what I'm feeling right now is, without the gun, there's no problem. As soon as someone puts a gun in your hand, then all of a sudden there's a responsibility there and a weight that comes with it. That without the gun, there's no issue, right? with the gun, all of a sudden there's a responsibility as to how it's managed, how the firearm's managed, as to, again, can I be hurt or can I hurt others? So it's a feeling of, it feels like an uncomfortable threat. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. You nailed it. Yeah.
Because the feeling is, and what they're showing me now is, I recall when I was younger that, that your best fight-flight mechanism is to run. But if you have a gun, they can take, or if you have a knife, I always thought knife, because guns just were never in my awareness as a kid. We never had and didn't live on properties. So for me, it was, if I had a knife to protect myself, and this was more when I was a teenager and started to, we had the Claremont serial killer out, and so we were always on guard and scared. And the idea of, if I carried a knife to protect myself, I'd be so bloody stupid with it that I'd drop it in front of them and they'd pick it up and use it against me. Whereas if I don't have the knife, they can't turn it on me because I'm a bit of a wuss. So the feeling, I'm getting that feeling as well. Like, it's just, I don't want to be prepared for this. And
I didn't want to have the gun that I had. The gun that I had only appeared later when I realized I can't run anymore. Like, there's no more running now. I have to face the man, and then the gun appeared, and then it was like, oh God, now I have to shoot. Now I have to shoot this man.
And then woke up.
Yeah.
So it's does anyone else picking up on anything? And feel free to say, oh, that doesn't really resonate, or I'm not sure right now, I'll think it over. Because it's always important when we get a no, or when someone says something that you're like, nah, that doesn't make sense to me. That's just as important, because we have to be able to tune back in and go, okay, let me go back in and see what this means. And also you can do a dream recall where you go back in and you change the circumstances. So and I'll move you to that, because we want to find resolution for you, Kendall. So is there anyone that's picked up on anything that they would like to offer as a suggestion? But remember, we don't tell anyone what their dreams mean. We ask them, we phrase it as, if it was me, I might consider these options. Does that resonate with you, Kendall? Does that make sense? Rather than it's this, it's that, it's not this or that. It's, here's an idea. What do you think? So
yeah.
Anyone have anything else that they'd like to add? Anything they're feeling or tuning into?
The only thing I was getting was that there's a need for her to be pushed out of the darkness, to come out into the light somehow. That's all I was getting.
Yeah. So looking at the shadow, fear. So to me, guns represent fear and personal threat. So does that resonate with you, Kendall?
Yeah, this is all bang on. Yeah.
I just wondered, did you actually have a male figure in your life that has been hounding you?
Guns?
That's a bit personal,
not
though.
with guns, just is there a male figure in your life that's yes,
negative towards you, or hounding you, pushing you for something you don't want to do, and then you turn around and stood up for yourself?
Yes, I feel like that's happened a lot throughout my life, and then also my career, male-dominated career as well. Yeah.
So just really quickly, good job, Ali, as well. What I've picked up I've just looked and done a quick Google search. So we can use Google as well, guys. We don't have to rely on all of our senses. It can help us to get an idea. If you see someone trying to kill you in your dream, it could mean something about your real life situation, obviously. Dreaming about someone trying to kill you might also have something to do with your anxiety or stress. This stress or anxiety could be caused by fears, judgments, being in charge, or your actions. So and when we read something like that, straight away I got to know, I don't get a feeling like there's a personal threat. So as I read that, Kendall, my feeling went, nah, I don't feel like you're in personal danger. Does that resonate with you?
It's not personal danger. I think it's me.
Anxiety, yes. Stress.
Yes.
So, and I feel like I think we can work out what it's about. Yeah. Also, get help, okay? You come in to see me anyway, so we can work on it, but you don't have to look at this stuff on your own. This is where it can be really helpful to have someone guide you through these processes so that you can understand, the shadow side and help you to find peace with it, right? and help you to make decisions, because sometimes we don't know the right choice to make, or how to make the right choice, or what's even the right choice. One other thing that's coming forward is, okay, so now we've got quite a lot to work with. Would you guys agree? Yeah, there's quite a lot that's come here. So Kendall, you'll be actually feeling quite, now what I want to do is I want to ask you for an opportunity. So we want to revisit that dream, and we'll try and see if we can do it right now. So in the dream, and I'll tell you what I'm getting. So I'm seeing that there's an old man threatening you. He's chasing you. There's little kids on motorbikes just like chasing you as well. You've run and hid, found a gun, and you've started shooting back. But then there's that feeling of right before it gets to the point of, oh my God, what if I actually kill someone? Like, I don't want to hurt someone. It's like I'm firing bullets to stop them, not to hurt and kill them. That's like I'm shooting just like fuck off. Like, it's not actually it's to protect, not to harm. Does that feel right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what would be an ideal situation? And this is where you can get creative. What would be an ideal situation in this dream? So how would you like to move the energy around this? What would you like to happen? What would be a great outcome for you?
If the man with the gun and the kids just got bored and left.
Yeah. So it was like all a big mistake. It's like, oh gosh, we're chasing a rabbit. I didn't see you there. Oh my God, sorry, we weren't chasing you and shooting you, right? These are the things we can do to find peace around it. Okay, so once we've got the message, sometimes I had a dream about a snake, and once in the dream, snakes represent transformation. And in the dream, I needed to go back in and work with the dream in order to find a resolution. So in the actual dream, I didn't save the snake, and it was captured to drain the poison out of it. And I left it in the bag in some clinical kind of doctor's office. And I felt bad about it. And then instead, what I did is I went back into the dream, grabbed the snake in the bag and took it out to the bush and let it free. And in the dream, it was symbolic of releasing the energy around the fear around that, and what will happen is should we do this as a little guided meditation with Kendall? Are you guys all right to do that? All right, let's close your eyes, Kendall. We'll just all do this with you. So we'll just take a deep breath. And just bring your awareness back to that dream. And you're just at that point in the dream where you can hear the motorbikes and you can feel that someone's shooting. And you know you haven't been shot, so you're very aware that you're okay, and you've hidden behind a tree at the moment. Can you visualize that, Kendall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you're in this point where you're at a dream where you've got a decision that you can make. So you found you've got a gun in your hand and you can shoot back, and perhaps you do just fire off a couple of warning shots. And so as you do that, as you send off some shots up, maybe just up into the air as a kind of warning, just describe to me what happens and what you'd like to see experience in the dream. And as we do so, let's ask for the universe to help bring lessons and messages and guidance through that Kendall can utilize throughout this experience.
So I shoot the gun into the air. The kids will disperse and go about their business. Now they're just playing. And the man with the gun, I don't know, he just wanders off. This is he's not interested, it's not his focus anymore. He's just gone off to do whatever it is he's gonna do.
Yeah. So she can just see the children just go back to being children. So there's no malice there, there's no chasing, and you can just find yourself in a healing place now. So I want you to just move out of that experience and just take yourself back into your sanctuary. And just let me know when you've done that and you find yourself in your place of peace.
Yeah.
And just call in healing energy and just call in your guides. So you aware of who your guides are, Kendall?
I don't, like, I'm not super familiar, but I can probably get them here.
Yeah. So you've worked with animal guides, yeah? So
Yeah.
one of the animal guides that you've worked with. Who feels right to call in?
I think the tiger one.
Yeah, so I can see the tiger. So just bring the tiger in and just ask them to just come and sit with you. And what I want you to do is you can talk telepathically with your spirit guide. So I want you to send out a thought. Do you come with a Christ light? Okay, and just ask. The tiger comes with a Christ light. Or just with universal light. And we just want to ask your guide for a message around this situation that will bring you into a place of peace, safety, and security. So what is it that you need to know about this situation that will allow you to acknowledge it and acknowledge the fear and the anxiety, but also help you to find a way to deal with it for the highest good of all concerned? If you need help, just let me know. Just see if there's any thoughts that came through, Kendall, that just help you to find the lesson in this situation. Is there anything that pops into your mind?
I'm feeling like it's, you know, I have a habit of running away and procrastinating any decisions. And it's, you know, a lot of energy goes into running away. When if I just turn to, like, actually acknowledge the decision and the choice, then it's easy, you know. Then it doesn't feel like a massive problem. It's just dissipated, you know.
Yeah, and all I got is you're safe. There's enough time, so the feeling of pressure, like, just take the pressure and the time off. And absolutely, just it's the fear that you're running away from, the fear of the unknown. So you always have the resources within you to deal with whatever life circumstances throw your way. You understand that there's there's always help. There's always help, and you'll learn as you go. Okay. Beautiful. Like, that's a powerful message. So just to reiterate, it takes more energy to procrastinate and run away than it does to stand, be still, and just face the challenges or the opportunities, because you may find that there's blessings that are hidden that you don't even recognize, because the fear is big, because you've been so practiced that you might find the very thing that you're afraid of brings you so much love and joy that you can't even contemplate yet, and happiness. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, bang on. Yeah.
People could be totally terrified of channeling, yet look at what it is. People could think that it's channeling devil and the evil, and yet how much fun are we having, and how beautiful is it? Like, the reality is actually, this is freaking amazing. Like, why wouldn't you want to do this? And yet people actually think that we channel and there's an overtaking of your body and you get possessed and all this kind of stuff. And yet none of that's true, right? Especially not in this healing circles and the space I work in. So it just goes to show that there's the fear and then there's a reality and then there's all the in between.
Yeah.
Powerful. Gosh, I love it. Well done. And thank you, Ken. Did anyone else pick anything up along those lines that just helps support what we've just discovered? Or what Kendall, did you notice she had inside her all the answers? Did you guys see that the job here was to help her to find her own truth? And we played with it a little bit to help. We worked with creativity and intuition, but ultimately, we were just holding space for Kendall to find her truth. So it can be great to have a bit of banter and to support her in that. All right, let's see what else you guys got. There's a couple of messages. So, dream that you're being chased signifies that you're avoiding a situation. That was perfect. Who said that? It's frozen on my screen. Angela, perfect. And Linda, I got Kendall has the courage and power in her heart. She just needs to feel the courage to steal the ego mind and allow her power to shine. Oh, that's beautiful, Linda. Oh, did you get that, Kendall?
Yeah, thank you.
That's gorgeous. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little guided experience. I'm going to teach you an exercise called the God Box that I've only just recently learned about. Colette Baron Reid talks about it. She calls it a God Box, but you can call it anything you want. It could be spirit box, inspiration box. What I'd like you to do is get a box, and this is just one I got from, actually I just found it in the other room. So I went looking and found one. I went, yeah, that'll do. You can get creative and find a beautiful box, but the idea is what we're going to do is we're going to use it to create powerful intentions and also use it as an opportunity to tap into our intuition and ask for guidance, and also as a way of surrendering our problems. So we can use it in two ways. We can use it to clearly manifest something that we want, or we can use it to put something in there like a problem, something that has that's causing us a bit of distress. So it could be simple as, okay, I'll give you an example. So with running the retreat, my head's starting to get bamboozled by all the numbers, and because there's big numbers now, we've got lots of people booked in, which is great. So I'm celebrating the fact that it's fully booked, but it's also I'm getting, because when you work with Bali, it's all like millions, and my head's starting to get like 2 millions and my brain can't comprehend it. So I might put in there, universe, please help me to surrender and release the fear of not understanding all the books and the numbers, and activate, bring people into my life that can help make that an easy process. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tie it up like on a bit of paper. We're going to write out what the problem is or what we're wanting help with, and then we're going to throw it in the box, and you don't touch it for a year. You fold it up, you surrender it to the universe, and you put it in the box and you leave it there. You don't go get it out. You don't go looking at it later. You basically, once you put it in the God box, if you want to call it that, once you put it in the God box, that's it, done. Okay, energy's out. So don't worry about not having the box right now. I want you to take a moment to think of either something that you want to request, or a problem that you would like to surrender into the God box. So grab yourself a notebook and a piece of paper, and I'll give you a few moments to think about something, and we'll all do this together. Okay. So I like to write Dear Universe on mine because I don't like saying God. Hard just to write one. Okay, how you're going, you wrote something. Do you want me to share as a bit of an example? We want to be mindful of the language that we use as well. So I'm happy to share one of mine. Will that be helpful, or do you guys not need it? You want to know? Okay, so I put the date at the top. So I think it's nice to put the date on the top. So I've just written, "Dear universe, please help me to better communicate my needs clearly without feeling like I'm being direct, and being direct meaning that I'm not being kind. I can be direct and be kind at the same time. Love me." So this came from a personality profile that I did, where someone pointed out that I can be so kind, but to the point where I don't communicate clearly my own needs. And then when I feel taken advantage of, because people just didn't know what I wanted or needed, because I'm too much of a people pleaser to explain my needs effectively and calmly. So I'm actually wanting help to know. And that stems from a deep belief that direct people are mean. Direct people are cold and hard. And that's not true. That's just a bullshit belief I've got. So at the end of the day, I want to be able to learn how to communicate clearly and effectively with love and kindness, so that it's actually empowering when you know where you stand with people. Would you agree? And some people are better at it than others, and I'm not good at it. So in the God box it goes. Now I'm handing that problem over, and it's quite a big one. That's like a personality trait. I'm handing that over to God, to the universe, and I surrender. So now I'm going to trust that the universe will bring opportunity for me to have an experience of, getting my needs met in a way that resonates for both of us. Won't that be fun? Hopefully I don't get all these opportunities come out of the woodwork for difficult conversations. So be careful what you ask for. Does anyone want to share? And you totally don't have to.
I can share.
Yeah, great.
So I've said, "Dear universe and God," so I want to cover all bases.
Love it. Dear Goddess.
Yeah. Can you please help me find a meditation and Reiki room where I can be quiet and comfortable and see my patients? Thank you. Eternally grateful.
Beautiful. I love it. What you're doing there, Kavita, are you in WA?
Sydney.
You're in Sydney. Okay. Can I give you some insights? Look up living rooms to rent on Gumtree or on Seek. And you'll be surprised at how many will come up. You could pretty much go into any practice that you want to work in and ask them, and they'll give you an opportunity.
So what do I say? Sorry, that it missed the sound.
You can just look up healing rooms to rent.
Oh, okay.
Healing rooms. So maybe practitioner rooms, for hire, or therapy rooms for hire, and put a 10K radius from your home. Therapy rooms to hire. If there's a place you want to work, like a chiropractor's clinic or a physio's clinic or somewhere like that, a healing centre around you that you would absolutely love to work in, you can start putting the feelers out and looking for opportunity, and be open to ideas that, oh my gosh, I never thought of that centre. I'd love to work there. Like, be open to ideas and go and try it out, try their services out. And then all you have to do is mention to the person that owns the centre that you're looking to heal, to enter a room and watch what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Does anyone else want to share? You don't have to. Still writing, just practice. And
I will. I will.
Cool, Linda.
Want me to share? Yeah, I cover both bases. Dear Divine Universe.
Dear Divine Universe.
I ask your help to clearly understand how to get my healing work out to the people who need it and for this to become a successful business so that I can help people heal for the rest of my life. Thank you, with love.
No, I love it. I love it. Perfect. I could totally help you with that, Linda. Pop it in the God box. That's
Pop
awesome.
you in the God box as well.
Pop me in there. I can give you that solution. Pop me in there. I've got some ideas that actually, do you know, it's interesting because I just had an opportunity come through this morning for I won't announce it yet. I'm pondering it. I'm pondering a new opportunity, Ali, for something that would be group spiritual mentoring instead of one-on-one. So that would cover exactly that, Linda, and bring the price down, Ali, so it's not as expensive. So
Sounds good.
thank you.
Is it soon?
Well, I'll start it whenever you guys are ready. So I'm kind of looking at
Tomorrow?
tomorrow. Yeah, well, it's the give me a little bit of time to pull it all together. It's just basically what I was doing in one-on-one mentoring in a group and then having that group support. So without the structure so much as just me responding to your questions and giving you the information and knowledge that I have, as a bit more structure, but not just only focused on channeling. So yes, let me know. We'll talk. We'll work it out and talk. All right. Does anyone else want to share? It's amazing what happens when you actually put out your intentions, isn't it? How the universe provides. Ali?
I've done the same as Kavita. I've put the universe/God.
Love it.
Could you please make my physical body and mind healthy and free from medications and have energy to do the activities I would like to do? Love, Ali.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to answer that. We're going to answer that prayer, and I'm going to take you through a practical experience of quantum healing. Do you guys know what quantum healing is? Hands up if you've heard of it before. Oh, great. You guys are experts. Okay, have I taught you this before or someone else has taught you? Okay, just checking.
Just heard the word, but don't know what it means actually.
I'm going to show you a little video. So this is a cool video that gives you an understanding of what quantum is. So we need to understand the word quantum first. All right. Can everyone see my desktop? Yeah. Let's get out of here. Oh, not too much. All right. Can you guys see that?
I can't hear it, Lisa. I don't know if anybody else can.
No, I can't. There was a lag at the beginning.
No one can hear it? Okay, let me
No.
check. That glitched. You got to hear it because the sound's important. Why did it not stop video? Let me just try again. Share screen, share sound. Oh, I didn't optimize for video clip. Okay, now it'll work. All right. We'll start again because the beginning's important. Can you guys see? Okay. All right.
I was drawn to work in marketing and SEO because I'm naturally curious.
Don't need to hear about marketing and SEO right now. Okay, so what do you think that represents? Why do you think I showed you that video? Just unmute yourself. What do you think? What was your first impression?
We're all part of the same frequency, cells, like part of the whole universe.
Yeah.
We're all made of the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah, perfect.
And it all comes back to us in the end.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what the word quantum means? Does anyone know? Kendall, you might know this one. Quantum.
To do with our neural pathways, how we're all how we're connected, how our thoughts create our reality, all that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Anyone
And changing our neural pathways, change our story.
Yeah. And anyone know what the word quantum means?
Is that like nano or the opposite of nano? You know, when it's either really small or not? I don't know.
Quantum means small, like really, really small. Did you put your hand up, Matt? Yeah, what do you?
Yeah, well, quantum just means, yeah, small. It's, you know, on molecular levels generally. My background's IT, so I know a lot about like quantum mechanics and stuff. Just
Have you actually studied the quantum computers? Have you met Eamon? So you've studied quantum computers. Oh, wow. Because apparently there's 10 actually in operation, and Google has them, and Apple, and what's the lady that owns the mine here?
can't remember. I've never actually seen a quantum computer, but yeah, there is quite a few of them.
Hancock.
Hey? Yeah, Hancock, yeah. He said to me, I met with Eamon, who's a quantum physicist, and we had a very interesting conversation about healing, quantum healing, and he was saying that because they start using negative numbers, that basically with the power of the quantum realm, they could basically wipe out all your PIN numbers in 30 seconds flat. Can you imagine the disruption and potential disruption to our whole system? It's kind of a little alarming, the potential. But there's obviously the potential for light and shadow. You're going to say something, Matt?
Yeah, you don't want to know how easy it is to crack computer passwords and stuff. So
I know, because my bloody Facebook account just got
yeah,
hacked.
that's true.
I know how painful it is to get it back too. Still 2 weeks later, if you've got anyone in the know, Matt, let me know. Maybe you can
Unfortunately, no, not at Facebook.
not at Facebook. I was going to say maybe you could hack your way back into my own account. Okay, so just to give you a basic understanding, the body is dense. So when we think about our body, we know that we're a dense, low vibration. So anything that's we're in physical form, so therefore we can understand with our senses what we can perceive. The chair feels solid. Agreed? One of the first things my Reiki master told me is that the chair you're sitting on is not real. It's just vibrating molecules. It's just energy. I'm like, what do you mean it's not real? She said, well, it's only real because of your awareness of knowing that it's a chair and that it's physical form, but it's not more real than the things that you can't see. So she was trying to give me that understanding that just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real, nor can it have a powerful effect on your life. So we think of the body as being dense. We've got molecules, we've got atoms, we go into particles, electrons, photons, neutrons. There's other things, right down to the gold molecule that they've now discovered. So, and there's another.
Did you say God molecule?
Molecule, yeah. It's also known as the adamantine particle. So it's almost like the smallest, the small. That they've started to find things now with their measuring devices in the quantum realm that they never, that, and especially in the realms of brain neuroplasticity, they're discovering things that they once thought was all real and make believe. Okay, they're now scientifically giving evidence to that they've done. I won't go into the details of it, but they've basically done I think it's called a split test, where they created an intention, and what they found is that they could create an intention with consciousness, and it would demonstrate an effect of how light bounced through the slit tests. So they were able to have an effect on the light showing through these two slits. And what was happening is the things that they noticed is that it worked even, the experiment worked even if you were like local to the experiment. So they got meditators in a different room meditating on the outcome happened. So the molecules changed to bounce off light in a particular way. They got meditators, Buddhist monks, to meditate and recreate the experiment, even in another country. So it proved to them that consciousness can have an effect no matter the location. So they started to understand that we're all energetically connected and we can have a cause and effect. But what they also identified is that babies can't. So if you're not conscious, if you're not a consciously aware being, like a baby can't make it happen just by putting the baby in the room. So does that make sense? Or animals can't. It has to be conscious thinking beings that can affect energy and create outcomes. So with this, we look at the non-physical realm. So still real, just non-physical. We've got waves, particles, and we've got probabilities that then get created from a potential. So everything is vibration. Everything, if we think of it in waves, when I did study in my hypnotherapy training, he basically showed us the quantum entanglement is basically waves. And waves represent lines of opportunity and experiences. So at any one time, we've got multiple timelines of experiences, and these fields cross over. And it looks like this big jumbled mess like that, pretty much a scribble. And at any one time, we can activate a line and change it or deactivate it through the power of our conscious thought, through intention. So just what you put in the God box then, or the universe box, is creating an intention which creates a new line that wasn't there before. So Kavita, you've made a clear intention to want to work professionally and wanting to bring a space into your environment. Now, before you activated that intention and actually verbalized it, it's not a possibility until you determine it to be so. Does that make sense? Now, in the field, we have infinite possibilities as to how we want to create our life. Ali, you created a possibility and activated it in the field of potential for whole healing, whole body healing, which means essentially you can, with practice, activate your original blueprint. Okay, so when we understand that the body can heal because we choose it to, we choose to activate that original blueprint of the physical body, then we can do this through the power of the quantum realm. So it takes us into the formless void. Okay, so we're going into the void where things are just pure possibility, that place of no thing. Have you guys heard of the universe being explained as nothing, the void, the no thing? It's not that there's no thing, it's not nothing. Think of it as no thing. It can't be described. Scattered stars like dust, so formless, dimensionless. Okay, I've just scribbled down some words. Your cosmic consciousness, part of formless, the cosmic being. Okay. So another thing I want to, where is it? There was a quote that was said that we are all made of stars. Have you heard that we basically come from stars? And that's what I saw in that video, which I like it as well, because it kind of, we're all born of stars, and we'll come back to that again. Stardust, yeah, our body's a universe. Awesome. Yeah, you guys are on it. Okay, so a few years ago, I was trained by, in hypnotherapy, I met an amazing man that had studied Michael Newton, which I mentioned last time. His name's Peter Smith, and he wrote a book called Quantum Consciousness. So this is his book. He actually after speaking to him, he knew my healing experience, and he said to me, look, feel free to use my work, because he said, I know I've basically read all the books and had a lot of the experiences that he lent on to create this program. So I highly recommend you look him up. So Peter Smith, and I'll give you an experience of just what we're going to do is I'll tell you about what happened with this book. So he said to me, look, just play and explore. I trust that you'll do the right thing with this work. And I'm like, okay, cool. And at the same time, he had a message come through, and this would be going back 10 years, where he said, my guides are telling me that your apprenticeship's over, like time to get out and start sharing this work, your work with people. And I'm like, okay. So I came home and said to one of my friends, I've just learned this new quantum healing technique in hypnotherapy, and I just want someone to be my guinea pig. Were you interested in it? Can I just practice on you and see what happens? And she's like, sure. And anyway, this was back when I was a working. I had I had a room full-time in a naturopath clinic, Kavita. So kind of what you're wanting to experience. And I messaged the boss, and I'd only been there about a month at this stage. And I said to her, is it okay if I use the room after hours? Because my friend's going to come and we just want to do a healing session. And she goes, sure. And there were 2 doors to the center, and we were in my healing room, and I basically activated this meditation without any expectation of what was going to happen. And we just went in with curiosity. Do you know the 2 most powerful things when you're channeling is curiosity, a little bit of excitement, and trusting that whatever you're going to experience will be for the highest good, and having that intention, the highest good for both of you. But there was no real, other than that, this is just for fun. There was no money exchange. It was just, let's just try this and see what happens. So what actually happened for her was that she got teleported to another realm and took me with her. So she basically started describing being sucked into a portal, and she said, I'm standing before a portal and I don't feel like I can fit through it. And I said, just see if you can squash yourself in. So basically we're just like, oh wow, there's a portal, okay, what are you going to do? And she goes, oh, I feel like I should go. And I'm like, does it feel right? And she's like, yeah. And she goes, okay. And then basically she said, I feel like I've got to squash my energy down to get in. And I said, well, let's do it and see what happens. And then basically she went through this portal and started channeling a being of light that started to come through and introduced himself to us both, and then said that they were going to work with us through her to teach us both. So that was the intention. And she came out and she felt quite exhausted at the beginning, but it was the very beginnings of my teaching others how to channel, and we just didn't know it at the time. And we ended up meeting every week for about 1.5 years. And it was the most amazing experience. We just had a blast. So basically we work with energy, we'd run energy, and then turn around and she'd channel Christian, and Christian would come through and answer all our questions. And basically we'd always be like, why are we doing this? What's this for? And the guides would never tell us. They would never actually say that there was a purpose other than what we were experiencing in the time and in the flow. But it really led the foundation to what then became. She got to a point where she's like, this is really about you being the channel and teaching others how to channel, Lisa. And I'm just being selfish now, taking up your time when you should be out there teaching this to others. And so I had no idea that. I always thought it was about her, that she was going to be the channel, because she primarily did a lot of it. So it was and my role was to teach her and to do it, obviously, as I was teaching her. So it was pretty cool. So that was how we first got, that was the first experience. So what I'd like you to do now is you can focus on the intention you just put in the God box, or you can actually just ask for something simple that you'd like to experience tonight. So I'll give you a few moments it could be just to give you some ideas. You could just ask to get a really clear connection with your guide, okay, with your healing guide. You could ask for an experience with healing energy tonight. Or just you could intend that it's whatever is needed for the highest good. Okay, so you guys clear on what your intention is, and if you have it, I want you to write it down. Okay. Okay. So if you've written that out, guys, I just want you to write at the bottom the statement, this or something better manifests for the highest good. And we always end with thank you. Okay, because we want to honor the process and thank Peter Smith for putting this into a form that we can utilize. Does anyone need a quick wee break before we do this meditation? Yeah, me too. All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go far. As well. So what is it that we need to know as a group before we begin this quantum healing session? Okay. Okay, we have a card. Oh, we've got the Imagine card. How beautiful is that? See that? All right, now it came in the protection mode, so we're just going to read that message before we begin. 20. Okay. We'll read that after. All right. Don't want it to get in the way with the message. We'll talk about it after. All right, ready to go, guys? Okay. So let's begin by just closing your eyes. And we're just going to talk about a few things as we begin that will help you to understand the quantum realm. You can hear me clearly? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we're going to be focusing on having a physical and spiritual experience. We're going to be able to integrate the experience Okay, so imagine for a moment living in a world without any restrictive beliefs or any mindsets that hinder your progress and your experiences. Okay. So just take a nice big deep breath in and just relax. I want you to just settle into a nice relaxed space now. Thank you for holding space, Angela. That's beautiful. Just allowing the energy to move through your mind and your body. We're going to activate your own personal universe through this meditation. We're going to activate a remembering of the quantum potential of who you really are. And you're going to be reminded at your core that you are full of potential and possibilities. and that we can release any mindset that gets in the way of you understanding your broadest perspective. So just take a few breaths now. Gently hold them for a moment before letting them go. And at different times through the meditation, I'll go into silence, only just to allow for an integration. And at the very end of the meditation, when we finish, I will bring you out of meditation. So just continuing with those deep breaths and holding for a moment and releasing. And take a moment to clear the human mind and to hold a peaceful intention for our journey together. Feeling the greater guidance that gently surrounds us now. And know that our journey, starting in the here and now of your current consciousness, ripples gently outwards into the universal realms of your personal universe, healing, exploring, and serving humanity and beyond as your contribution to the evolving fabric of the cosmos. Just relax now right through your body, allowing any tension to just melt away. Feeling the shift in your consciousness that echoes a deeper truth at the smallest scale of your being. We activate and empower a quantum realm that allows the embracing of all possibilities of that realm. And you expand gently into your quantum consciousness and allow yourself to remember and in this moment, you simply know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are a part of the greater universe, intimately connected to all there is. And with every breath, this remembering becomes stronger as the body relaxes. That's right. You recall the feeling of floating outside of time and space as we know it. With every beat of your heart, you open more and more to all that you are, all that you have been, and all that you will be. All connected now as time and space is left behind, and you are simply energy, part of the fabric of the universe, an expanded state of consciousness. The human aspect of you draws deep comfort and peace from the energy that surrounds us all now and allows us to transcend the perceived needs of the physical realm. as every breath now becomes a sacred experience, drawing universal energy further into your being and connecting even more strongly to the universal life force that permeates all that we ourselves have created. Rest now in the remembering of all of this. Let go and just be. And allow yourself to move into a new experience this evening. Just calling forth your original intention before we began this meditation. As you activate a new blueprint. Seeing and experiencing first the desire, the intention, releasing all limitations, knowing that in this quantum realm, it is simply as easy as activating a new timeline where everything you have requested becomes not only a possibility, but an inevitability, where it is simply a matter of switching on a new timeline and, if necessary, deleting an old one, or just shifting to a new frequency where that energy line becomes available. And you can take focus off what was and embrace what will be. And just allow yourself to settle into a knowing of this experience. And just see yourself now really clearly with the intention of that which it is that you want. Now I want you to see yourself 2 years from now, living in that experience. Just sense and feel what you notice, what it feels like. And then even 5 years from now, if appropriate. And then we ask that this manifests, this or something better manifests for the highest good. I'm going to give you some time for meditation. If you chose to have an interaction with your guide, I'd like you to just use this energy to take yourself to a place where you can engage and connect with your guide, where you can be open to receiving spiritual healing energy directly from your healing guides. So just first imagine yourself moving, if it feels appropriate, to a different time and space, perhaps a healing temple or a healing garden or sanctuary, and just make yourself comfortable. Call in the archangels, the beings of light, the healing angels. Be aware of their presence as they arrive. Responding to your intention and your request for healing. And now just simply surrender to the experience and enjoy the feeling of being nurtured and receiving energy from your guides. And just know that you can receive this healing energy anytime. You just simply have to ask and then relax and be open to receiving. We ask that the energy continue to be received so that you may all receive the benefit as we sleep tonight. We also ask that the guides and angels send extra healing energy to Ali, the experiences that she has on a physical level at the moment. And also to Hayley. And then just hold in your mind's eye the intention to ask for healing for yourself, to be continued to be sent this evening. And then also, if there's anyone you know would be open to receiving a healing blessing tonight, just simply visualize them and send them healing as well. And when you're ready, just slowly, slowly bring your awareness back into the room. Just gently bringing yourself back through all those different dimensions. Just drifting back, knowing that you can return to this visualization and to this connection with your spirit team anytime you choose. And just coming back through all the different realms, back through time and space, back into the room, back into your body. That's right. Just starting to drift back in like a feather drifting down to the ground. And just bringing that intention to earth and ground back into the body. Breathing deeply as you reawaken. I'm just going to count from 5 down to 1. 5, starting to feel your body again. 4, becoming more and more alert, more and more awake. 3, feeling ready to open your eyes. That's right, yawning, enjoying this healing experience. 2, getting ready to come back. And 1, eyes open, wide awake. All right. Now, what we're going to do is there any, I think we'll just go around in a quick group. We'll have a quick chat about their experience. So we'll keep it brief. Is there anyone that would like to share what that was like for them or what came up for them?
I can.
Thanks, Angela.
I went to the place that I went to last week on the sort of like a beach on another planet.
Yeah.
And I actually felt I saw this beautiful blue purple hairless creature sitting on the beach, and I didn't know if it was me or not. It was like it was me. It was an unusual feeling, but I could feel the light waves lapping up my feet the whole time. It was quite strange. And then I had the lyrics of this song called Catch That Feeling by the Hilltop Hoods, one of my favorite bands. And yeah, so that Catch That Feeling. So I'm going to go and have a look at the lyrics in that. And it was I got a real message to, to just a feeling of peace and love, and it was quite beautiful. So thank you.
What's the song? Who's it by?
It's the Hilltop Hoods. It's called I think it's called Catch That Feeling. That was the lyrics that was just telling me to catch that feeling. It was like, I think it was the message was because I've been trying to live in be more grateful for what I have and not what I don't have, and it's been a big thing for me the last couple of weeks. So I think it was part of the message.
Just to activate that gratitude. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. Thanks for sharing. Who else would like to share their experience? Did you enjoy the words and the surrender? Yeah. Ali? Yeah. How did you go, Ali?
I'll probably forget everything, but you said see yourself in 2 years and 5 years. I was just this healthy, gorgeous being like I was when I was about 18. To the point that I even saw myself in this pink swimsuit I used to have. And that I was stronger, I was back horse riding, and I just felt free, like nothing was a problem to be able to do physically. It was just great. And then when I was trying to connect with my guide, I just felt like a lot of the time I was under, and I've just looked at the ceiling to see if there was any lights on, because there's no lights, because I thought, where was this light coming from? I just felt as if I was under a big sort of yellowy golden light, like a lot of the time. And yeah, just that my guide was there with me. Yeah. And then at the end, when you said, would you like to pass this healing on to any other person who you thought would like to receive it, I tried to do it to my mum, and I just became, I don't know if anybody could see, but I just became really emotional, like in my heart, because she lives in the UK. And yeah, she hasn't been very well recently, and I just started to think, oh, she could really do with it, and I just got a bit emotional about it. And then we went back to the room. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. You miss your mum?
Yes, I do.
And that's beauty. Give her a call, have a chat. I know you probably do, but yeah, that's so nice that when we feel that sense of separation, we can always send Reiki. And that's what I think I love about it, that we have that ability to connect. Is there anyone else that wants to share? Thank you, girls. Anyone else want to share their experience? And
I just want to say that some of the words, I think I was somewhere else, so I didn't hear a bit of it.
yeah, that's
So,
happens sometimes.
yeah, but I do remember seeing, like, I'm being led down this path, and like the suntan beds,
Yeah.
like how it looks, but imagine it in crystals. So that
Oh,
was
nice.
that was just, yeah. So when you said, so I had a vision of that. So, and I thought, like, that's where I'm lying down to get my healing.
Yeah.
But then when Ali was talking about the intentions to start, I was like, oh, so that could be something like in future to incorporate into Reiki and healing and stuff.
Many of my students do that where they create crystal grids under their bed. I've got a big massive crystal under my table, so it just helps activate the energy. So when someone's on there, it helps just, yeah, you can actually get crystal light healing beds and things. There's lots of things you can do. Ali did an amazing meditation with a crystal grid this morning, so I'll get her to pop the photo of it in the group, even though I can't see it. You guys. Thank you for sharing, Kavita. That's beautiful. Linda, how did you go? Did you want to share your experience?
Yes, I didn't see anything again, hear anything. I felt heavy and light at the same time. So I was sort of up and floating.
Yeah.
But it was like a white mist wall around me or in front of me. And I clearly heard, I really don't want to do that.
So your mind
And
didn't do the meditation or didn't want to experience the healing?
I don't know where it was coming from. It felt like it was probably me.
Yeah, you didn't want to experience it?
No, it's not that I didn't want to. When I was out, no, I was wanting to. I was hoping I was going to connect with guides and being curious about it, but I just heard from somewhere, I really don't want to do that.
Okay. It's a part of your mind. If there's resistance there, it doesn't make sense.
Must be.
So I'd be looking, it could just be a bit of fear or a bit of, again, just needing to understand what that resistance might be. So usually in the quantum state, we're able to release a resistance. So that's okay. Just try again. So maybe it's that it's, you'll feel more comfortable doing it in a private session where it's just you and just allowing yourself to experience it. And when we visualize, Linda, it's just using your imagination. So right now, I said, imagine a pink elephant. Can you do that?
Of course.
Of course. Can you imagine your kitchen? So in spirit, do the same thing. Just start to get creative and have fun with it. So I think sometimes when we put too much expectation on what it's going to feel or look like clairvoyantly, we actually make it harder than it needs to be. So literally play and make it up. So if I say to you, what would it be like to go to a healing space? What would a healing space look like for you? If you just make up a peaceful space, making it up right now, what would it look like?
Yeah, I can see that. I know it's the river running through with a bridge over the top, like an old-fashioned stone bridge, and park green either side, and with Pegasus in that field.
Yeah.
Out in front.
Yeah, yeah. Can you feel why it might not have happened for you tonight? Perhaps you were just meant to experience the energy, but not the. Did you get a sense of movement, like you were actually going with the meditation, Linda?
Yeah, no, I was up there.
Went out of body?
It was up there, out there somewhere.
Yeah. And then just encountered that thought or that thought of, I don't want to do this, yeah?
Yeah, I really don't want to do that. And then that white wall was there, white misty sort of wall was there, and couldn't do anything else.
That was it. Yeah. So as soon as that thought comes in, if I don't want to do it, I'd like to know why. I'd like to know what and perhaps just perhaps just see what comes up for you when you start to explore, because it could be that there's some underlying fear there that perhaps needs to be released in order to have the experience, or perhaps it was just not flowing for you tonight, and that's totally fine as well. Sometimes we get that. Sometimes we just try and it just doesn't flow for any reason. Kendall was written something. Kendall, did you want to share?
I was just going to say, I don't know if this helps you or you can relate at all. But I think I'm
Mm.
like secretly still a bit afraid of the spirit guides. Like on the surface, I think, oh, I'm really keen, like really want to do it. And you know, you're meditating, getting right in there, and then right at the last second when I can feel the connection starting, I'm panic and I feel the fear, and then I have to try and override. Like I have to try and override it. That's why I feel more comfortable with the tiger. For some reason, I'm less afraid of that one. To get in there, I'm not sure if you can relate to that or that's a different thing for you. But I feel like it's blocking myself, you know.
And sometimes it's just a feeling of what if I can't control it? What if the energy comes in and does something I don't like? What if I can't turn it on or off? So all of these things can kind of have an effect as well. So thank you for sharing, Kendall. Does that resonate with you at all, Linda? Or do you feel like it just wasn't flowing tonight?
I don't know. I don't think, like in my mind, I don't have any fear of doing it. I really want to.
Yeah. Okay. Any fear or belief that you're not skilled at it? Any resistance there as in your ability, whether you believe you can do it?
I'm too analytical, I think, because I'm trying to follow with it. Okay, now you do that, now you do that, now you do that, and I'm trying to stop doing that.
So it's just so that to me is just the practice way. Your mind's very dominant in that it's very used to doing things in that way, and now we're asking it to be creative and go with flow. So if for you, I think, Linda, it is just I feel like it's probably not so much a fear block for you. It's just this is new territory. So it's like that practicing being creative and imagining will really help. So anything that you can do to create play around imagination, it might even be worth, Kendall and Linda, if you can do one session between, like just get on a free Zoom with each other and just have an opportunity of play with imagination. So even if you just look at an apple, visualize an apple, put it down, go in another room and then remember it and visualize it and try to see a visualization of an apple. So sometimes when we work with our imagination and start developing that skill of recreating in our inner mind these things, it slows down that kind of part that wants to take over and make it logical. Yeah, because we need it channeling requires both. And so when one becomes dominant, it's like we lose the other. So what we're actually doing is we're blending the left and the right brain. It's not easy, otherwise everyone would be doing it, right? So we're actually trying to work with both. We have to have the logic in order to understand and interpret the information and the frequency and as it's coming through. We also need the creativity to be able to take us into these different states where we're not knowing what's happening as it happens. So it's not something that's been practiced a lot, so it does take a bit of time to kind of fine tune it, but keep going, don't give up. You'll find one day you'll just relax and surrender and just get curious and just see what happens, and you'll just say yes to that experience, and you'll find you'll have a beautiful positive experience. And sometimes when I've got stuff going on, I can't get a clear connection either when I'm activated in life just the stress of normal life. But thank you for sharing. Did you want to share anything, Matt?
So yeah, pretty much. I just kind of relived my past life thing the other day that I did. So I kind of just went back into that, which was interesting. Saw it in a slightly different detail, which was quite enjoyable. But unfortunately, then there was a car crash across the road and I got distracted. So that's pretty normal on my street. So
yeah, I mean, it makes a good point, Matt, that no matter how deep you are in meditation, if there's something going on in your external environment that needs your attention and focus, you'll just pull back into this earthly experience. So we're never trapped or can't get lost or can't get disconnected to the point where we're not able to refocus back in. Sometimes we know it's hard to come back because we're enjoying that state of meditation that I think for you, Kendall, it was a little bit hard to come back into focus. You could see that once you actually begin to relax, it's like, no, not yet. But that can help alleviate your fear that if someone knocks on the door or the phone rings or the dog barks or there's some alarming experience that you need to address, we always come back into the physical. It's actually harder to stay in that empathic, emotional, connected space than it is to be physically focused, because this is primarily where we're supposed to be, right? So well done. Great experience, Matt. And thanks for sharing. Angela, did you share? I can't remember. You
Yeah,
did?
I was first.
Oh, that's right. Of course you did too. All right. So I've heard from everyone. Make sure I haven't missed anyone. I usually go around in an order so I don't miss people, but then occasionally I randomly just pick people and let it flow.
Kendall hasn't shared.
Who?
Kendall.
Oh, Kendall. No, you didn't.
I feel like I've shared too much. I've spent all the time today.
That's what happens when we go with the flow. Sometimes it's yours, sometimes it's someone else's. No, please share. What did you experience?
I think I got confused with I forgot what was happening at the start bit, but in the 2 to 5 years I was on this big boat teaching a bunch of kids how to sail. I don't do any of that stuff, but it was great. I loved it. And like Ali, I felt really free and like I could do any, I felt light. Like I remember when I was 20 specifically, that feeling of when I was 20 and I had all the energy and know anything. That was bliss. And then
ability and stress and pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just freedom is the word, right?
Yeah.
Complete freedom. And then when we did the meditation, my intent, I wanted to make a stronger connection to my spirit guides, which I struggled with a bit. And I got a new place, which is this waterfall in this forest somewhere with a little rock. I think I like being kind of cornered into a nook.
Yeah.
And then my tiger came as more of a cat, like a comfy cat tiger, like a little lap tiger, to just be there and cuddle and feel comfy. And the bear came and I felt this heavy, this thing here, and I think the bear was putting their hand on my head and I was getting the healing energy somehow through all of this. And I tried to send it out to a couple of friends and my mum. So yeah.
Wow, beautiful experience, Kendall. Thanks for sharing, Sally. I'm glad you reminded me. That's too cool to keep to yourself. That's awesome experience. Well done. I just love, do you notice how each week it just builds upon the experiences? I love the weekly, the weekly connection that everyone's getting with each other, but also in just, expanding. So homework for this week is just pop anything in your box that you want. I do want to read the message. So the message that we got was 20, and we'll just see if it resonates with anyone here. So the message was in the protection message. So illusions and wishful thinking rooted in a sense of lack may have entered your life. Now may be the time to see things as they truly are and not as you hoped or imagined they would be. Release any fear, then envision anew. Perhaps you're anticipating that something fearful might happen and recreating that image of disaster over and over in your mind. The universe responds to such projections, so be aware of this catastrophizing. No matter what, illusions and awfulizing, in inverted commas, are a misuse of imagination. Clear the inner slate and stay grounded, stay real. Only then can you truly have what you desire. To me, that's absolutely summarizes what we've been doing. We're actually utilizing the power of the mind to create what we want rather than focusing on what we don't want, especially in regards to healing and the problems with the physical body. It's very hard to do that, Ali, when you're reminded daily of the pain and the discomfort. So it's hard not to get into that sense of frustration over the body's condition, to then flip it and actually start to acknowledge and visualize the body as you want it to be. And same for all of us, when we're going through periods of stress, it is hard just to flip the switch and I think what's important is and Colette Baron-Reid talks about this a lot. We're not talking about spiritually bypassing here and just love and light, everything's fine. Like this is not what we're doing. We have to acknowledge and do the work on the shadow and feel and acknowledge the energy, because if we sit in a complaining mode, we keep manifesting more of that. So it is about shifting, acknowledging, healing, and changing the beliefs that are sabotaging our growth and our happiness. So that certainly could be something that you can do with your guides. Ask for healing. Acknowledging them and putting it in the box is also part of that, because it's not saying, oh, this doesn't exist and I pretend it's not here. It's actually going, here's a problem, I'm going to pop it in there and surrender it to the universe. And then at times you'll know, no, this is something I have to actually physically deal with it. Sometimes you can deal with it on an energetic level. And sometimes you just have to, you have to make amends where you need to. Does that make sense? So I think that's all about using the power of your imagination to work for you. All right. So
Can I just quickly share something? Because I wasn't here earlier, I had something great happen with regards to what we're just talking about. Not great, but small great. Just cut a long story short, had a hire car from the panel beaters, and they said to my husband that he'd hit and that there was damage on it, and they wanted him to give them $500, and he didn't know anything about this damage, and they were really hassling him. And last night I went to bed asking the universe to make it all go away, and today it did.
Oh, yay! You did it before the lesson.
It was bizarre. Yeah, I was believing it, but there was a little voice going, oh, don't be stupid, Ange. But yeah, then the guy just said, don't worry about it. So I was like, yes.
Yay!
Made it go away.
We don't have to do everything ourselves, do we? We have universal support, and that can come in the form of people. We're so used to saying, no, I've got it. No, I'm okay. So sometimes that's also about accepting help, and that's brilliant. I love it. I wish we could document all these times these things happen, to remember that this is what this is what it's like when you're actually trusting your intuition, Angela, and you're asking, and the universe delivers. So that's brilliant. Yeah, just got to ask some mini miracles. Absolutely. I love it. All right, guys, on that note, I will love you and leave you, and we'll see you back again next week. I will pop has anyone watched the
Tuesday, isn't it? Next week, Tuesday.
Thanks for reminding me. Let me
I have to remind myself.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we've got
Tuesday
the 28th. Exact same login. And stay in touch with each other, guys. Don't forget, if you want to organise a practice session with each other and practice what we've learned so far. I was going to give you a journal technique, but we'll do that next week, because we did the kind of remind me next week if I forget how to journal using angel cards, and we'll do that as a little exercise next week. But yeah, I want to start moving more into active channeling experiences, which will be fun. All right. Have a wonderful week, guys. Lots of love to you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.